Well, your plastic bottles, your jugs, your glass jars, other recyclables leave your curb, and then they take quite a journey on their way to be repurposed.
So this afternoon, we have an inside look for you at one of the largest recycling facilities in the country, and it happens to be right here in Massachusetts.
And that's NBC 10's consumer investigative reporter Leslie Gaydos tells us what you put in your recycling bin matters.
The Casella Waste Systems material recovery facility in Charlestown is the fourth largest in the U.S. Using the latest technology, they process 700 to 800 tons of recyclables here a week, sorting and stripping materials out a little at a time with magnets, air jets, robotics, and optical sorters.
Those robotics are able to identify different plastics based on the resin components and how they're made up. Some of the optical sorters are using technology that visualizes what that material is made up of and then sorting it by component at that point.
It's an impressive operation.
So he's pulling out papers and any trash that might be in there because we don't really want paper in with the cardboard.
Cardboard, paper, glass, plastic, and metal is sorted.
That's an overhead magnet right there. That's picking up all the tin cans off the conveyor, throwing them across, and we're collecting these here to bale.
Recyclables are compressed into large bales and sold to companies that clean and convert them into new products. But on an average day, about 15 to 20% of the material coming in is not able to be recycled, and that impacts operations here.
The material that is not acceptable here ends up going into the trash, but has to go through a complicated system to do that. So it's expensive, and it causes safety issues for workers when someone throws a plastic hose into their recycling bin, or rope or cords from electrical equipment. That all gets tangled in this equipment and stops the operation.
Recyclables have to be hand sorted to remove problem materials.
This is called the pre-sort. This is the first sort of step where they're going to start pulling out the pieces that wrap and trash bags.
Plastic bags are the #1 contaminant here. Do not put plastic bags or plastic film of any kind in your recycling bin. They don't accept any clothing or fabric, and scrap metal is a huge problem. It can damage the equipment.
If you get that jammed the wrong way, it'll actually cut the conveyor belts in half.
We see hazardous waste sometimes, paint cans, syringe needles, all sorts of things that are potential hazards to the facility.
Lithium-ion batteries should never be put in your recycling bin.
The #1 cause for fires and danger, if they get mixed in with this and then they explode, they can really do a lot of damage based on the material makeup that's in these facilities.
When it comes to the right stuff, your water bottles, plastic milk jugs, and containers, those are being put to a higher and better use.
If you put the right materials that this facility and your municipality want you to put into that recycling bin, I guarantee you it is going to get recycled, and it is going to go back into new cardboard box, new plastic containers, new bottles, new aluminum cans. It is happening, and it's real.
It sure is, and it was a fascinating tour to see it all happening. Coming up tomorrow, test your recycling IQ. How much do you know about what can and cannot be recycled? I recently failed a quiz on the state's Recycle Smart website, testing my knowledge. So I had a lot to learn myself, and hopefully I'll answer all of your recycling questions tomorrow. Leslie Gaydos, NBC 10 Boston.